Hey guys, I'm back. This video is all about organization. Not the most fun, but it's definitely important. Start out by labeling. I usually start out by going through each file and labeling it according to the scene and number. So if it's scene 1A take 1, I label it 1A-1. And I go through for each and every file. This process can obviously get pretty repetitive, and it just takes it takes time. You just gotta relax and get through it. This time I think it took me roughly 2 hours to get everything labeled and organized in Adobe. Yeah, this is just the part of editing that no one wants to do, but it has to be done. This helps me know what footage I have. It helps me obviously be able to find the footage when I need it, and it helps me organize it in Adobe. Now, some people will log the footage and write down a list of everything they have, which I would do. This is something I don't have much time to work on, so I would rather get right into editing and just organize it well enough where I know what I have. And by doing this, I get to see, oh, if the slate's ever messed up, I get to see that. If there's numbers ever messed up, I see it. And while I was always on set, so I know what we should have, and so if I'm not seeing something, I'm obviously going in and looking for it. But that hasn't happened yet. That hasn't happened. We have all the footage we shot, and everything looks good. Now, I can also see just by looking at this that there's some shots that I wish I had gotten, which unfortunately I don't think I will be able to, but that's okay. You also want to make sure that you know where your files are at, because if you don't know where the files are at, Adobe might not know where your files are at, and that's when you have a problem. I usually create 3 files to start, one for Adobe and all the files that come along with that, one for footage, and one for the audio that comes along with the footage. Later on, I'll probably create a 4th folder just for sound effects that I think can be used, but I usually start out with the 3 for footage, Adobe, and audio. And then once you get into that, you can even go further in, footage you shot on day 1, footage for day 2, day 3, or however you want to do it. Everyone has their own process. There's no one way of organization, just as long as it's clear to you and other people. Now, when we get into Premiere, the first thing I do is create a folder for each and every scene. I dump all of my footage into one bin, all of my audio into another, and then I have another one for sound effects and scratch. And so this will help me go scene by scene. But this editing process is just getting started. I'm excited for you to see what I have done so far. I believe this is turning out great. I hope you can stick around and see how my final product turns out. Thank you. Good night.